Hey, one and all, welcome again to Michael J. Symonette College. Here, we are so excited to all of our Bible and theology majors. We offer a class in Old Testament survey. Today, we want you to have a look at one of the textbooks we use to aid us in that classroom. It is Jensen, Survey of the Old Testament. The author is Irvin Jensen, and this is an accurate detail of the Old Covenant and how God operated under the covenant of law. Well, we also offer a New Testament survey, and that textbook is also by the same author, Irvin Jensen. And in the New Testament, we cover the entire New Testament, and we survey it, and we go in detail, and we unpack, and we see and investigate how God has transitioned from law to grace. A very good class, gives you a good foundation of an understanding of the new covenant of God. For the Bible and theology majors, we also offer a class called the Book of Romans. And this is the text that we use. This is a very scholarly work by the author, Ernest Casement. This is an advanced class for the very serious Bible student. And this textbook unpacks the critical, deep truths of the gospel of the book of Romans. Well, if you don't know, Romans is the central focus of the New Testament. And this class is a great class for the Bible and theology student. We also offer a class that's called Person and Work of the Holy Spirit. And there are so many questions surrounding the person of the Holy Spirit. And yes, the Holy Spirit is a person, and the work of the Holy Spirit, and the work that the Holy Spirit does. We use this textbook, authored by Donald Williams, a great author, great insights about the Holy Spirit. And we just want you to be aware that this text would be a blessing as you do the class to aid you in your learning. We also offer a class called the Book of Acts, and this is the text we use in that class. This is the American commentary, and the author Pohill here does an awesome job of unpacking how the early church operated and how the contemporary church should function. This is the class you want to take, and so that you could have the Acts experience in your local congregation. And then also another very awesome class that we offer for the Bible and theology student is called Systematic Theology. And the textbook we use for that is Christian Theology by noted author Millett Erickson, one of the top theologians of our era in the 21st century. And in this class, we unpack, because the class is so extensive, we divide it in parts 1 and 2. In part 1, we deal with theism, where we unpack God's character and who he is and what he does. We deal with bibliology, we deal with anthropology, we deal with angelology. And then in part 2 of this course, we deal with the church, ecclesiology. We deal with salvation, soteriology, and we conclude with eschatology, how things will end in the last day. And so we just want to expose you to some of these texts. And then also, we want to share with you today out there in the community, if you are a business administration major, one of the textbooks we use there is called Contemporary Business for the business student. And we know that some of you aspire to be entrepreneurs and to study business, and this is the textbook that we use, and it is loaded with information. Enroll today so that you can gain some of this wealth of information. And then finally, we have an introduction to psychology book we use. It's called Understanding Psychology. This is one of the core classes. And so whether you are a Bible and theology major, a business major, or a computer science major, all of you will have to do the introduction to psychology. And this is a great understanding of human behavior. And so we just want to expose you to some of these texts we use. These are very rich, and professors will use this to unpack the truths of what is going on in the world today. Finally today, we want you to meet some of our staff members, and so we want to pause to introduce them to you. Would you go with me as we now meet several of our staff?